Today on Before the Big One, still looking for a new title, but working title before the big one, I'm going to be talking about mail, not post. I'm going to be talking about armor, specifically mail. I've worked a little bit with mail before, not much. I've kind of figured out how to put something together and then promptly forgot about it. But I like making things. I want to make a chain mail shirt. I'm sure there is a proper name for it that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I'm gonna do that first, and then I want to work with scales because I've been very interested in working with scales for a very long time. I've done bits and pieces with them, but I haven't really done them together. I know that sounds confusing because it is. I've bought a bunch of scales before and I've used them in several different things, but I haven't ever used them as part of mail, the way that they were intended to be used. So the point is I want to work with it again, but I want to do it properly this time. So you're going to be going with me on that journey. Should be great. I'm really excited because guess what came in the mail today? My scales and rings. I'm so excited. So this one was really hard to get out of the mailbox because it is so heavy. I would say easily 5 pounds. We'll check. Let's start with the smaller one first because I'm working on patience. Oh, I was right. I have, oh, they're so pretty. They are a lot brighter than I thought they would be. I thought they were going to be a lot more pastel colored. They are not. Bought 1 packet of blue, 3 packets of green, which there are 3 packets of green, 2 packets of pink, and 1 packet of violet. The next one! It's so full. Okay, so let's see. 4 bags of 100 scales of the large steel ones. 4 bags. I bought 2 sets of large rainbow scales and each set had 10. And these are those. 1 package of 100 purple scales. 1 package of 100 red scales. 2 packages of 100 each silver scales. These guys. Bronze rings. Oh, these are huge. Oh, these are huge. These are the bronze ones. And these ones that I got, I thought they were supposed to be the same size. I wonder if it's going to be harder to work with these. So the difference between 3/16, if you can see those, and the 7/16 is ridiculous. Did not know there would be that big of a difference. Yeah, and these are 3/8, which, yeah, these look the same. I mean, the same size. They have those. So there are those. Everything came, which is fantastic. I just have to parse it all out and decide what's going where and what I'm going to start working with. I have to decide which ones work better, whether these big ones do or these smaller ones do. If I need to get different ones, if my plans need to change for what I have. So confused. Oh well. I ordered more rings for my chainmail. My rings came in today. I'm very excited about that. I ended up getting, I got 8. and I got all of them the same size. I got all of them the same gauge and the same size as one of the, I think it was galvanized steel that I already have. So these will all work, and I just opened it because I wanted to make sure, because I didn't want any more weirdness going on. But I got several packages of these seafoam green ones. Other ones I got are matte. So I got some purple ones, I got some blue ones, and I got a couple of pink ones too. So I'm hoping that this won't be awful. I didn't get any matte seafoam green ones because there weren't any, or at least there weren't any that I could see. They had normal green, which I didn't want. I wanted seafoam green. And I'm gonna start working on it soon. I've worked with scales before, but I haven't really worked with them with Maille. That is because I would sew them to costumes and stuff. Two separate costumes come to mind that I used scales on. One was a Daenerys costume that I worked on. That was 2017, I think. I decided to do her iconic blue dress with the cross, but I did that in red and black instead of the blue and white that are on the TV show. I bought a bunch of black scales like this, black scales that on the cross bits I sewed all of those on there to make it look a little bit more dragon-y, I guess. And I bought a bunch of them, but I was only able to go from about here to here or so, and I covered up the entire strap with these, but I didn't have enough to continue going, and then I also didn't have enough time to buy more and finish. I ended up regretting that. I sewed all of them on. I ended up regretting that because by the end of the night I had a bunch of scratches. As you can see, this top bit is pointy and it digging into you over and over whenever you move your arm at all is just doesn't make for a good night. So I ended up taking all of those off, and I'm going to reuse them for something that I need black scales for. The other costume I ended up doing was Steampunk Aquaman back in 2015. That was a very involved costume. I guess I like making things hard for myself. I got 2 different kinds of scales for that. So I decided to do a orange top, and then I did an underbust corset. I found one online that was white, and I used that as my base. And then I bought a bunch of shield scales. They look like this. They're a bit bigger than normal ones, and they are different shaped. I bought gold ones like this, and bronze, and a bunch of orange ones, and basically I took all of the scales that I bought, all of the different colors, put them in a bag and kind of shook it up, and then I would just take one out, place it where I wanted it, and sew it on. And so all of the pattern of the scales was very random. The other thing I decided to do with that outfit, that particular outfit, was that I had this pair of bright green skinny jeans that I never wore. So what I was planning to do with the skinny jeans is I was going to cut them off at the knee, and then I drew a line starting 4 or 5 inches down my thigh, and I was going to cover everything from that line down with scales, with these scales to be exact. I started at the bottom. I got an entire ring around the bottom of one leg, and I gave up because it seemed impossible to be able to do the whole thing and to finish it and to make it look good. because it wasn't looking good, which is upsetting. What I ended up doing is I found some leggings online that were like mermaids. I found green ones of that. I ended up wearing those. Instead of using these for the bottom part, I ended up making a pauldron with them because I thought that would look cool. What I did was I took a bandana and I folded it in half so it made a triangle. And then from that triangle, I added these guys, and I did an entire side. I covered the entirety of one side, and I did a mix between sewing those on and gluing them on with either hot glue or super glue. I know. Throughout the night they kind of kept falling off, but I would take the bandana and I put it on my shoulder, and then I safety pinned it to the blouse so you wouldn't see the bandana part. All you saw were the scales. Recently, having to take all of the scales off because I had no use for that anymore. So, and I wanted to use the scales. What are you gonna do? So I took all of it off. All of the ones that I had sewn on were fairly easy to take off. All of the ones that were glued in place with hot glue were also relatively easy to take off, and then taking the glue off was no issue either. But the ones I put on with super glue, those were fun. I basically had to rip those off. It was great because I would have ones with little bits of either the glue or the glue and bright pink bandana on the back. To get the dried glue and bandana bits off, I ended up soaking all of those in nail polish remover. I will be using those on something else. Maybe when I decide what colors I want my pauldrons to be, I'll use them for something. I don't think I discussed what I wanted to do with the vest, like my idea for the pattern. I don't know if I currently have enough ring. Probably don't have anywhere near enough rings, but my hope and plan and wish as of right now is to do like a checkerboard. Maybe not though, because I'm not a huge fan of the blue color. Hopefully I'll be able to think of something to where I can get it to look good. There's a small part of me that just wants to take all of the rings that I have, that just wants to take all of these guys and just put them all in a big container and shake it up and just use them as I go, so it's just random and it looks all whoa. But thinking about it and knowing how a ring pattern looks, or the ring pattern I'm going to be using, I feel like if I don't have some sort of idea of what I want to do, it's just going to look like a mishmash of colors and be like, why'd you do that? It's probably going to be both best and easiest if I do blocks and then attach all of the blocks together. Hopefully it doesn't look ridiculous, but I'm not holding my breath. Initially, I was gonna have this whole thing just be one video about me talking about how I was going to do the mail and to do the scale mail, but then I realized, oh, this is a big project and it's gonna take a while. So all of this is just the first half. This is just me talking about stuff. The next video that I do on this subject will be me actually putting things together. Probably also doing a lot of talking, but putting things together and kind of going through how I want it to look, and then probably how it'll end up looking with the finished project. The second half will probably not be coming out until closer to the end of the year. That is going to be it. Thank you for joining me talking about a lot of stuff. I will see you later and have a great day.